Hello! Welcome back, everybody. This is EonShikeno, and I'm bringing you my very first StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm beta commentary. And I've got two big names for you, two fan favorites. Up here in the top left, we're gonna have our top left, we're gonna have our red Protoss player. It's gonna be WhiteRa. And as you can see in the chat, in the bottom right, we're gonna have one of the most famous French Zerg players. It's going to be the blue Zerg player, Stephano. And like we're on the new map here, so yeah, this is crazy. PvZ. Personally, I've played about 50 to 60 games in the beta. I played with all the different races, and what I noticed that has worked pretty well for Zerg players versus Protoss players is they go with the combination of Queens and Swarm Hosts. Swarm Hosts are one of the new units out there, and they're like mid-game Broodlords. So imagine that. Imagine the Zerg army. They use the Queens for AA because the Swarm Hosts locusts that they spawn do not actually attack air, so they use the Queens for AA, and it's a pretty devastating combination. And I've watched Stephano stream a couple times since the betas came out, and he has used it a couple times, so I wonder if we're going to hear that versus WhiteRa. And there's just so many changes in the metagame for StarCraft once Heart of the Swarm came out. It's kind of wicked, so hopefully we'll see some fun play here between the players. Stephano quickly trying to get that hatch down. There he sneaks in there. WhiteRa wasn't quick enough and doesn't get that down. But WhiteRa nevertheless goes Nexus first, and he should be able to set this up fine. This is quite a big ramp for a Protoss player to defend, one of the larger ones, I would say, as far as ramps goes. But as far as relative size here to here, it's pretty much the same as any other map that has a natural expansion that isn't a ramp. Pretty much the same width there. But you do have to worry about these rock spears. So let's look at this map. I actually forget the name of it. So we've got the third here for the Protoss player, which you kill these rocks, and you can go down here, take a third. So like that, it's somewhat like Entombed Valley. But out here we have these new rocks, the collapsible rock tower. So if you attack these rocks here, these rocks fall and cover this entrance. This position here stays blocked off, so the maximum width you can go through is right here. And if you kill the rocks, they will fall down here. And you can see the life on those rocks is 500 as opposed to the standard 2,000, so they do fall a little bit quicker. WhiteRa is going to get a pretty fast Cybernetics core here, not even going for a forge. So WhiteRa are really going to be able to get the Cybernetics core very quickly, and Stephano going to take a really quick third. Third is going to go down there. Not really quick third, I should say, standard third for Zerg players. And he's going to come up here and scout. I think he's seen, okay, no forge, so I'll just walk on in and have a look. I bet Stephano's wishing he went for a speedling opening this game. But anyways, Corona boosting out some workers. As you can see here, one of the new changes, the UI changes that actually tells you how many workers are mining here on your Nexus, this other Nexus, and on your gas as well. And is he going to lose a probe? No, he does not. WhiteRa keeps that worker alive. So yeah, this is the third base for WhiteRa is probably going to be here, and from the games I've played personally, the fourth would end up right here in this position. Now Stephano opts to take this as his third, as opposed to this position down here. Now, as far as Zerg, I think that is the better play. You can kind of make a spine crawler wall right here in this area, and have your infestors and stuff right here, and that protects this base as well as your natural and going on into your main. Whereas if you have a base down here, you have to kind of be out here in the middle, and it's not as positioned as well. Sure, you can drop down these rocks, but they don't stay alive that long after they fall down. They're just like any other rocks, and if you take that down, you get a nice position here. You can force field the ramp. I do think this is a better third position for a Zerg player, while for Protoss, I think this is the better position. But that's just my personal opinion. Oh, look at this WhiteRa making one of the new units. We got the Mothership Core. The Mothership Core has 3 new abilities: Energize, Purify, and Mass Recall. Mass Recall is something I've been having some particular fun with on the ladder. So in PvZ, I'll do like the standard Sentry Immortal build, but I won't have to walk across the map because I just take the the Mothership Core and slowly walk around my opponent's base, sneak in down here, and just mass recall my Immortal Sentry army into his base, and then take his main out. It's quite funny. The first 2 times I did it, the Zerg player was like, wait, what? It was hilarious. I haven't yet seen a pro player do it, but it's fun. And if your opponent doesn't know what the Mothership Core does, or they don't have any overlords to keep an eye on it, then it's so funny to have that army just appear in their base, and they're like, wait a second, did I miss something here? And WhiteRa is playing very aggressive. He's piling out here. He's got a weapon some zealots. He's got a sentry out here, 1 stalker with it. Stephano so he's got speed about 1/3 of the way done. He's going to pull some Zerglings. He's going to have to pull some Zerglings. Here they come, trying to get us around that stalker. Are they going to get it? Yeah. Nope, not going to get it yet, but he's on the creep. Stephano's going to pull back and essentially just say, all right, you can attack that hatchery for a while. I'm going to save my drones, save my Zerglings, save my queen, and back out a little bit. And even the Overlord's going to get away. So yes, Stephano is going to lose his 3rd base, but he didn't lose too many workers in the process. Roaches are going to come out, and +1 is on the way for the Zerg range. And overall, Stephano, I think, made the smart decision here. So he's going to lose his 3rd, but he didn't lose like the actual drones as far as that goes. And he can kill this army as soon as his roaches pop up. It seems like Stephano's going to time it pretty well. The roaches pop up. Here come the Zerglings, and the roaches get in a good position there in the back. The Zerglings get around the back. They're going to be able to take out the sentries and the stalkers relatively easily here. But those zealots are doing some nice DPS versus those roaches. WhiteRa with some reinforcements is going to be able to clean the rest of this up. And WhiteRa is in a really good position. He can set up. He's got double forge on the way. And even a Dark Shrine being produced, Blink also on the way. And WhiteRa is just pushing his way through here. Stephano's going to need to muster up some forces. He's got 11 roaches coming out. That should be enough to finally knock back this attack and allow Stephano to take his 3rd. Once again. So here we have WhiteRa is going to make his push. WhiteRa is feeling lucky. He's like, you know what, I took out the 3rd. Let's go for it. Take it out again. He might do the mass recall. He does have enough energy for it. He's got 150. He can mass recall those forces if he gets in a tight position here. But WhiteRa is going to continue the pressure. A lot of roaches there for Stephano. There's maybe too many. Nice macro from Stephano as well. WhiteRa is just pushing forward, and the zealots are falling after that. WhiteRa, yep, is going to be forced to leave. The zealots aren't enough. Stalkers aren't enough. Too many roaches out, and now Stephano's getting really high back in the supply there. 94 supply versus 64 from WhiteRa. Let's look at the units lost tab while this continues to push across the map here. And look at that. Not really cost-effective play there for WhiteRa. And army supply, 34 army supply versus 18 for WhiteRa. So we're going to see Stephano gain map control here. And maybe even stop WhiteRa from taking a 3rd relatively soon. So the 3rd, just final thinking, all right, that position I guess wasn't that good. I'm gonna take the 1 down here. But a DT has been warped in. Oh, look at this. Stephano sees it. He's making an Overseer Cocoon. 3 DTs now being warped in. Let's see how much damage WhiteRa can do here. In the main, there is no Overseer, unfortunately. He's going to have to make another one. 2 more being made right now. He's got Queens there. He's got Roaches. But look at this. 3 here. They're going to pop. Oh, bad time. He's going to kill the Queen, but that's not going to be enough to take out those. Those DTs just didn't do enough damage there. This 1 in the main is dealing a lot more damage. 3 kills, 4 kills, but even still, this whole attack I don't think was very cost-effective for WhiteRa. He got a Queen, and I think he got like 3 drones, so... Not working out too well for Stephano, or sorry, for WhiteRa there. Double Forge right now needs to start another upgrade there because he's chrono boosting nothing. He's got full energy on the Mothership Core. Robotics Bay also being done. We'll see if WhiteRa is going to opt to knock down those rocks or just leave them open. And as far as like Protoss play goes, I think this is like how I've been preferring to do it myself, is do a complete wall off here and slowly take this position and then come down here to have this be your main entrance. Kind of like Entombed Valley, you do a full wall off on one of your expansions and have the other one be your main entrance. You know, you really don't want to have an opportunity for Zerg players to do run-bys. WhiteRa's going to snipe an Overseer there. 2 drones taking the long route, unfortunately. Stephano still isn't taking these rocks down, so they're going to get picked off there, and now WhiteRa's going to be aware of the base down there. Roach is on the move. Do they have the speed upgrade? Yes, they do. The Stalker's going to be forced to blink here in a second. There they go, and they're going to be able to get away. 4th base going up there for Stephano. And the macro hatch in his base. He's got +2 range on there. Coming up. Good base defense for Stephano at his 3rd. Teching up to Hive. He's got the, Evolving Enduring Locust. So, That's the Locust upgrade that's going to allow those Locusts to last. I think it's 10 seconds longer, if I recall correctly. Where are they at? Right here. Increase the lifetime of the Locust by 10 seconds. Yep, that would be it. And the great thing about doing these +2 missile attack upgrades with the Roaches is that that upgrade also applies to the Locusts. Since this game has been played, I think Locusts have been nerfed. I'm not sure if this is the pre-patch or post-beta patch replay. But we will see here as soon as those Locusts pop out. Stephano's going to lose an Overlord here. And is he going to maybe try and trap these Stalkers here? If he blinks prematurely, the second wave of Roaches should be able to take him out here. And what is WhiteRa going to do? He can't really lose these Stalkers. He's just going to blink over him. No, he blinks to the right. And the Overseers are going to catch him up. He's going to lose the pylon there, unfortunately. But the third base does get up here for WhiteRa. He's got Colossus on the way. And now we have 8 Swarm Hosts coming out. 8 Swarm Hosts produces a lot of Locusts. And hopefully he won't lose those. Those guys do burrow, so he's going to need detection. You don't have to research burrow for those Locusts to actually burrow. So let's say, oh, there we go. He's actually going to use it because Stephano is pushing his way forward here. He uses the mass recall, and very wisely, I'd say. There does a nice block, and I think he lost his Colossus there too. So yeah, let me check the units tab. Yeah, he lost his Colossus, so unfortunately WhiteRa taking a bit of a hit there. And Stephano was happily going to take that kill and then jump out of there. But look at this. That's a lot of... You guys don't realize how much these Locusts can actually produce. Once they start wailing down on a Protoss base, you really need an excessive amount of Colossus to deal with that many Locusts because they're ranged, so they're not like Broodlings. They don't just come up, you know, and they're melee range, so they can shoot from a distance. So you're going to need Colossus with the Colossus range upgrade to really deal with that. Or at least some air units just to go down and focus and kill the Swarm Host directly. So Zerglings are being sent out here through the middle. Don't know if Stephano... Yeah, I think he's just trying to free up some supply here because he's maxed out at this point. Almost gets a sentry there. So that almost worked out pretty well for him. And there is an observer with this group. I think there is. No observer. Not yet. He's going to need that. He's going to need to get that observer out if he wants to deal with these Swarm Hosts later on. And look at these guys. These things are really fast on creep. 65 life, and they deal 20 damage with 2 upgrades. That is insane. 20 damage. That's more than a Stalker. And these things spawn in for free. So you can see here, he just burrows them, or houses them rallied, and they just kind of sit there. And that's a lot. I mean, that's a lot. Obviously, it's double. Each one spawns 2. I'm almost positive. Yep, 2. So take the number of Locusts and multiply it times 2. He's got the Viper out, one of the new units from the Zerg player. And repositioning that... Killing off some Roaches now that free up some supply, so... But the Vipers are really cool units. They can actually use this ability called Consume, which targets one of their own structures and takes the life away from it and gives them energy. But on top of that, they have this really good ability called Abduct that allows them to just grab a Colossus and say, come over here, and maybe we'll see it in action here. There go the Locusts are going to burrow, and they're going to pop their dudes. Look at this. Nice. He's pulling the Colossus forward. He gets 2, 3 of them pulled forward, and they're just going to die so quickly. Stephano just snags all of them. Does WhiteRa have detection? Does he have detection? Yes, he's got an observer, and he's going to push forward here. Just too many Stalkers. But he did manage to take out all the Colossus. Really good play there from Stephano. But look at this WhiteRa with the supply lead. He's got +3 on the way there for Stephano. Going to be really nice. Locusts once again burrowing. Going to try and pop up a couple of those Locusts and push his opponent back. And that's going to work out. It's a really nice engagement there. You got to see a lot of the new Zerg units be put into play. And I just love the abduct ability from the Viper. It's so cool. Repositioning over here on the left side of his base. And those look at they're just tearing up those Stalkers in the front. They're not Marines. These things do more damage than Marines do. 22 damage. You gotta watch out. I mean, they just shred Zealots. These Locusts just deal some serious damage. Now we have a DT and 5 Zealots being headed over here into the third base of Stephano. He's got Zerglings on the way. Does he have detection? Doesn't look like anything. So this base should fall if this DT just managed to... Yep, it's going to fall. So Stephano, unfortunately, is going to lose this much-needed gas he has over here at this base. And the detection does show up, so it's going to get cleaned up there. But he's going to lose a lot of gas from that. More Zealots being sent on over there. WhiteRa wanted to put on as much pressure as possible. 4 more Zealots coming through. Look at the upgrades from WhiteRa. Amazing. 3 armor, 1 shield, 3 attack. So both players with some nice upgrades. Stephano going with the pure, like, he's almost like pure new unit armies. Heart of the Swarm army here from Stephano. He's got the Swarm hosts and Vipers pure here. This is kind of crazy. He's got the +3 on the way. Also, 3 more Swarm hosts coming out here, while WhiteRa is kind of doing the standard Protoss death ball. And here come the Viper. They pulling all the Colossus forward, and they're going to fall so fast. Look at that. He's pulling him even a little bit further. All 4 Colossus die. Does he have detection? He really needs to kill off that Observer. Is there going to be too many Stalkers here to take out the Swarm host? He's got a DT dealing a lot of damage up there in the front. He has to wait for them to produce some more units. There they do. They pop out. But he's losing so many Swarm hosts, and WhiteRa, with the classic Protoss death ball, does lose his Colossus, but the Stalkers managed to clean up here with the nice upgrades. And Stephano's dropped in supply. Not looking too good from Stephano here, but he's given it a valiant effort, trying all the new units from the, not all the new units, but 2 of the coolest new units from the Zerg army. The rocks fall down, and I don't know if he didn't know what that did, or if he's like, I'm gonna knock the rocks down, then blow it up for whatever reason. That was quite funny. The big blink forward, WhiteRa moving into a position to take out Stephano for the rest of this game. Stephano does have a lot of Swarm hosts back in the game here, and WhiteRa, he does have detection. I think he still has detection if there's an Observer somewhere around here. No Observer out of the map, so he cannot kill these. And I think, yeah, he's going to snipe that hatchery and then get out of there, because those Locusts were too much for him. WhiteRa taking his 5th base down here. No workers at it. This base, he's got gas saturation, which is working out pretty good for him. Back at his base, double robotics facility. Not really having to use those forges anymore this game. Could use some more shield upgrades. Some gateways sporadically spread around his base. And the Mothership Core is still alive. Now, if you don't know much about the Mothership Core, it actually morphs into the Mothership. You can do that once you get the Fleet Beacon. So imagine your Fleet Beacon's done. You'll just come over here, click on this, and then click the upgrade, and it'll just kind of morph right there in its position. But it doesn't move while it's morphing, so you want to put that in a safe position so it doesn't get sniped. But another really good feature about the Mothership Core is if you have full energy now, when you morph it into a Mothership, it is actually going to have full energy once the Mothership finishes morphing. So you'll have a full energy morphed Mothership right as soon as it's done, which could make or break a game. Unlike normal Motherships in Wings of Liberty, where as soon as you finish building them, they don't start with full energy. So that's something Protoss and Zerg players are going to have to get used to. Stephano trying to take this base down here once again. He's just kind of setting up the position here. He really needs to be able to get rid of the Observer. That's really what's killing Stephano here. If he just had maybe 1 or 2 Corruptors, maybe 3 or 4 or something, just to get rid of that Observer. Because if you don't have detection, you can't kill the Swarm hosts, and they just spawn units forever. It's really annoying, especially when they start sieging your base. Stephano gets the cancel there, and he's going to push his way up the ramp. Stephano's going to have to reposition his guys. He's got some DT action over here on the right. That'll get cleaned up, but now the big army's pushing forward here. The Swarm hosts are trying to spawn as many Locusts as possible. The Colossus just shoot through them really quickly. And WhiteRa was targeting the Swarm host there with the Colossus. Archon's up front, and he loses most of his Colossus. Only 1 left there. The Viper is going to show up. Doesn't have enough energy to do an abduct yet. And the blink forward, but there are Spine Crawlers there, and WhiteRa may have bit off too much here. More Locusts are spawning, and the Stalker's going to start to fall. And WhiteRa is losing quite a bit of his army. Your supply dropped, wow, 142 to 111, so the game is evening up a little bit here. He did lose his base down here once again, so Stephano really needs to take a 4th once again. But a huge Stalker warp in at the top. But Stephano does have some Locusts up there, so he can deal with that. And yeah, WhiteRa is going to be forced to leave on the left side, but still trying to apply pressure on the right. So the game has equaled out just a little bit. Still in WhiteRa's favor, obviously, but Stephano's not out of it. Now, while I think these Swarm hosts are pretty good, like I said, I think they're like a mid-game Broodlord. What I'm really wondering is, are Zerg players, I still think Broodlords are better, obviously, but are Zerg players going to get too caught up in making Swarm hosts that they just never get to Broodlord tech? I mean, it's 27 minutes into the game, and Stephano is just now getting his his Greater Spire. If this was a standard PvZ, he would have had Broodlords a lot earlier and may have been in a better position. So I'm wondering what the like good amount of Swarm Hosts is. How are Swarm Hosts going to be mixed into the composition of Zerg players to get them into the late game? I think they're good units. They have possibilities. Maybe like a timing push, 3-base timing push, something like that. I don't know if you're going to go for some type of timing attack to siege a Protoss army. But if you're going to play for the late game, I don't really know how many you want to get in your composition. We'll have to wait. Obviously, a lot of PvZs in Heart of the Swarm to see how things are going to play out, how players adjust their builds, if they do at all. WhiteRa kind of taking the map now. There's that new Creep Tomb Ram animation. That little snake thing crawls from here, goes underground, pops back up. Kind of like a dolphin following alongside a ship, just goes woo, woo, whoop. Up and down, up and down. WhiteRa not too happy with the new Creep Tomb animation. Is going to kill all the Creep Tumors around the middle of the map. Take control of that Zell Naga Tower. Has a DT down here at this base. I like that. I love late game DT harass. It's one of my favorite things to see Protoss players do late game, is just use DTs like that. So he's got Broodlords now. So we're going to have Broodlords and Swarm Hosts and Infestors. Stephano's got like every Zerg unit that just produces more Zerg units for free. Will WhiteRa have enough AA to deal with this? Stalker count is at 19. He still has that Mothership core, so he can do a recall if he needs to. He's got enough energy for it, and he can make a Mothership here pretty soon. Hopefully being about halfway done. The Swarm Hosts are repositioning their rallies, and he's really going to need to... the Broodlords have shown up, and he's got more than enough Broodlords. And all these Zealots are just going to die so fast. They just melt here in the front lines to those Locusts. Look at that. They're gone. 22 damage. Those Zealots are all toasted. So Stephano is holding here. He's building up quite a nice force. Uh-oh, but we have some Tempest being built. This is the new, like, Super Siege unit. This Super Siege unit, this puts siege tanks to shame as far as the range. I think when these things are done, they've got, like, 22 range. I think 21 range. That sounds crazy, but I think it's true. They're just ridiculous units, and you'll see what I mean as soon as one of them pops out here. Yeah, it says siege capital ship with long range attack. That needs to be in caps, like long range needs to be in caps there, because it's just crazy. You'll see it. You'll just see an orb come off the side of your screen and blow up one of your units. You'll be like, wait, how? What? Now, granted, they need to have vision of you, so if they've got like that, maybe give away an observer. If you're getting shot from outside of the screen, you don't know why you're getting shot. Obviously, they've got vision, so that's a little bit of a giveaway. But still, they can rain hell down on a base. It's insane. DT making its way down here to the fourth once again. WhiteRa just continued the DT harass I love, and he's going to get a couple drone kills here. Snags that one. Whoa, he whiffed! What? I've never seen a DT actually miss before. It made the noise, he made the animation, but the drill was like, nah, not today. Just sneak on out of there. The Locusts are going to show up, and they're just going to die. They're like, all right, had enough of that. But the Broodlings show up, and they're like, all right, we'll show you guys how to do it. We're old school. We've been around a lot longer than you Locusts. We'll show you how to get rid of DTs. Killing DTs is in our blood. Stephano really trying to get this base down over here. But here come the Tempest. 22 range. I was not shitting you. 22 range. He could be like, let me give you an example. This could be the base, but WhiteRa could be like down here and still hit it. It's insane, but here we go. He needs that vision, of course, so he's got to get a little bit closer. That makes such a cool noise, too. It's like, yeah, it's like something bad's about to happen. Stephano, no air. Stephano not happy with the change. He's going to abduct him, but, oh no, he's going to use a fungal. Nice play here from Stephano. He's going to take the range and say, no range, no thank you. And WhiteRa's going to make a push for it. The Tempests are going to fall due to the infested Terran. The Colossus are pushing their way forward. There's so many Locusts going to kill all the units up the front. Broodlords are holding their own here. All the Stalkers are going to die, and WhiteRa's going to have no AA left to deal with this. The Colossus are pushing their way forward. They're just going to melt through the Broodlords and Locusts. And, oh no, this just went so bad for WhiteRa. He's just losing his force, unfortunately. And Stephano manages to hold once again. Broodlords pushing their way forward. Keep in mind, these Tempests do actually attack air, so they can kill the Broodlords, but it does take them a while. They deal 33 damage, but they do have quite a long attack time, 3.3 seconds. The siege is continuing up here at the top. The Stalkers are being warped in. They're going to try and push their way forward and snipe this base over in the right, but there's quite a bit of defense. And once again, the Infested Terran are going to take out the Tempest. These guys are so slow. And those things will... this guy's actually going to get away. WhiteRa's forced over here on the right. It's going to get taken out by the Locust once again. And in the middle, no, the Colossus are going to fall. The Zerglings are going to get up there and chase them down. Nice play there. And he's going to get all the Colossus. Yes, he is. And the Zergling's going to get a nice surround on all the Stalkers. He's going to have to blink out of there. There he goes. He's going to blink out of there. Is there going to be a fungal? Nope, no fungal to be found. WhiteRa's going to be able to sneak out of there. And the tip is shooting from wherever. I just saw, you'll see that. You know, there's like, what the, where's that coming from? Just like out of nowhere, you'll just get shot by a Tempest. It's crazy. More Tempest and Colossus being built by WhiteRa. Stephano slowly getting back in this game. Supplies kind of evening out just a little bit. Stephano's the Zerg that will not die. More Stalkers here. WhiteRa really wants to kill this base. Is he going to get it? It's getting pretty low. It seems like he's going to blink over to the right to get a better position, and he's going to kill the the hatch. Really good job there. And he's going to lose the base over here on the left, so 2 bases at once. WhiteRa, nice play there. Really hurting Stephano's economy. Stephano has no gas left, essentially, and only 1,300 middle. So these bases are really important for Stephano. He needs to get what little gas is left in these bases, while WhiteRa is just kind of happily mining 30 workers on a base, and 19 over here. So really, WhiteRa's game to lose. He's got, like, look at all the minerals. He's banking it up. Really nice. That's why we're seeing a lot of Zerglings being built from Stephano. He just doesn't have gas to make the units he wants to make, unfortunately. So WhiteRa, Stephano saying, you have lots of money. Of course he's got lots of money. Yes, double smiley face. Of course he's got money. What are you talking about, Stephano? The Tempests are just firing away with the Observer Vision there. Taking out the Swarm Host. The Cryptors moving forward. They should drop those Tempests fairly quickly. These Tempests do have a little bit of HP on there. 150 shields, 300. And going to lose one and lose the second one. Yeah, no point to run, buddy. Just turn around and fight it out. Zerglings just getting killed by Tempest. A couple Zealots being sent over here to the base, but those guys will get taken out by the Locusts. They'll just melt so quickly. Look at that. Those Locusts just, oh, so dead. So I'm wondering if Swarm Host could be used as like a late game, like extra base defense. So you throw up some Spine Crawlers and you throw up like 1 or 2 Locusts or Swarm Hosts there to defend against it, against drops. Because if you're gonna drop with like, you know, Warp Prism drop with, you know, Zealots. That's really common as far as Protoss versus Zerg goes. Just do a Warp Prism drop with Zealots, kill tech structures. But if you need to have detection on top of it to kill the Swarm Hosts, you're just kind of sacrificing your Zealots. You're just going to kind of go in there, warp all of them, and then quickly try and kill whatever tech building you're going to get before you lose the Zealots. So that, I'm just trying to think of ways Swarm Hosts could be used, you know, once players decide to figure out how to use these guys a little bit more efficiently or more optimally. Stephano replacing up some Spine Crawlers. Knows these blink-ins from WhiteRa are ever so common. And +2 weapon air units. And look at these Tempests. They're just going to blow up. Look at this. I got to get better with my observing here. Got to follow the balls from like shoots up here. Comes way down here. Zerglings come to the rescue. Sorry, guys. You will not be able to do anything versus those Tempests. If there's ever been a more one-sided fight than a Tempest versus a Zergling, I've never seen it. Zealots being sent over here in from the left, but they'll be taking out too many Spine Crawlers, too many Locusts. Those guys are going to fall, but the Tempest Siege is still raining down on here. 5 Corruptors. I don't think it's going to be enough. But if he's not paying attention, these Corruptors are going to get a couple free kills on these Tempests here. But nope, WhiteRa is paying attention. He's going to rearrange here. A couple more Corruptors showing up. Broodlord show up. Stephano is actually supply blocked right now. A lot of more Zealots being shown up here, but the Swarm Host will be ready to defend this. And those guys are just going to melt so quickly there. More Corruptors showing up here for Stephano, so he's going to fight off those Tempests. WhiteRa decides to fall back. He's got 5 of his own. And WhiteRa's just got the whole base now, and the huge amounts of money. Just insane money here for WhiteRa. But Stephano is not breaking. He is staying in the game here. And like, let me show you an example. So you click on them, and you can see the range. Like, these dotted lines are the range of what they can shoot if they had vision. It's just... it's insane. Like the way down here, they can kill this creep if they wanted to. They're not even on the screen. So crazy. Corruptor's now pushing forward. Stephano's got the +1 attack upgrade on there. There goes the Corrupt ability. Gets a corrupt down there. The units take 20 extra damage. And the Corruptor's going to be able to snipe a couple Tempests. Yeah, does get one. Stalker's blinking forward, but they're not in close enough range. Oh, Overseer just gets destroyed. He did not see that one coming. And WhiteRa is taking every other base on the map. So Stephano on his 1, 2, 3, 4 bases, only mining out of essentially 1 base versus WhiteRa's mining out of 4 bases. Macro advantage easily goes to WhiteRa. He's just banking up so many minerals. He could warp in, you know, 89 Zealots and still be fine. Which would be a sight to see. I'd love to see 89 Zealots all being warped in at the exact same time. You'd need 89 gateways. That would be a crazy amount of gateways. Now Stephano is not liking the siege from the Tempest. He's going to push forward. Corrupt goes down. He's going to focus fire. Yes, he's going to get 1 Tempest. This second one is going to fall there too. And he's just taking out all the Tempests here. He's just got so many Corruptors. The Tempest upgrades have 3 shields. Look at that, 3 shields, 2 attack upgrades, but they're falling there. They're just way too many Corruptors. Stalkers blinking forward. They're going to try and retaliate against those Corruptors. And 4 Tempests still alive there. Stephano making his push here. He wants to really take out this army and change the flow of the game. Stalkers blinking forward, going to try and take out the Broodlords. 2 of them go down. And the Tempests are going to fall here. 2 Colossus gaining a bunch of kills here. Doing a lot of damage. 27 kills on that Colossus. He's going to fall. And look at this WhiteRa trying to get some more reinforcements in here. The supply. Look at the Locust just battering through here. Uh-oh. Unfortunately, Stephano is out of AA. He's going to need to get some more Corruptors out of this. What limited gas he has left. He's actually now his minerals is what he's really lacking. But the Locusts are just too much. 1 Void Ray and a couple of Tempests are going to survive this. Broodlord pushing his way forward. That Void Ray does fall. And the Observer's going to fall. No. Wait. Maybe. 1 more, 2 more shots on that. One more. Is he going to get the Observer? No, he's attacking the Tempest now. You almost could have got it there. But the Locusts are just pushing forward here. While the Tempest can't be attacked by these units, there's just so many Locusts, and they're going to take out that Nexus like it wasn't even there. And now he's using the Observer for positioning to take out the Swarm Host, which is a really nice play there. Definitely one way to deal with the Locusts. Well played from Stephano. Good game. WhiteRa eventually beats Stephano down slowly. 45-minute in-game seconds here. Actually, 45 minutes, yeah, for StarCraft 2 time. Wow, that was a crazy long game. And we got to see so many new Heart of the Swarm units being played with here. I hope you guys enjoyed that. We saw some nice abducts from Stephano, WhiteRa, with the Tempest. He used the mass recall there once. And just some great play overall. It was really fun. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm going to try and do some more Heart of the Swarm commentaries as I get some more replays. So follow me on Twitter at EonShikeno and subscribe to my YouTube page at youtube.com/EonShikeno. Thank you guys for watching. See you later.